I'm coming to you from beautiful Mineral Well State Park. Today I'm going to do a video on how to make a campfire using no matches, no lighter, just using flint and steel. So a flint rock and a piece of steel. Stay tuned. Okay, the most important thing to starting a fire is pre-prep. You want to make sure you have some little bitty twigs, pencil size or smaller, and then a little bit bigger, and just work your way up. And have it all ready ahead of time, because you'll gradually get more and more until you get to the big logs. First thing you gotta do is make a bird nest. What I did is I went out and I gathered a bunch of dead grass, and it's actually almost together for me. If I just do this, I'm going to form it to where it looks like a bird nest. And just keep working it. You're kind of breaking the fibers up so it's more flammable, because this is what's going to get it started. Press your thumb down in there. All right, there's our bird nest. Get a hole in the middle to put your char cloth in. Okay, what you're going to use is, this is a flint rock. You need to use any kind of rock that's harder than carbon steel. Quartz will work, flint will work, and there's a couple other rocks that will work. Okay, now the thing with using steel is it has to be carbon steel. But if you don't have steel with you and you got a good knife, you can actually use the backside of a carbon steel knife. But keep in mind, it's going to mess up the backside, so if you really care a lot about that knife, you only use it in emergency situations. I'll make sure you have some steel with you. What you do is, when you're striking the steel on the flint, you are actually shaving off pieces of metal, and when you do, the metal turns into sparks, really, really hot. See if we can see any on here. Do you see the sparks? Okay, now what you want to do is you want to get a piece of char cloth. Now you can buy char cloth online, or if you stay tuned to the end of this video, I will teach you how to make your own char cloth. What you want to do is fold it a couple of times, and then you want to place it on top of the flint, and then it usually does it first two times. There it is. So the char cloth is going. All right, now we're down here. Got the char cloth going. I'm gonna stick it down inside your bird nest. Don't catch your beard on fire. And there we go. Get it burning real good. Then you want to start out with your light twigs.
Start beard. Singeing your beard.
Uh-oh.
Don't!
Oh, I did singe it.
Good thing you had that warning.
We're looking good. Gradually just build up bigger and bigger pieces of wood. Okay, this is how you make char cloth on a cooktop. You can make it on a cooktop or you can do it in the coals of the fire. We don't have coals yet, so I'm gonna show you how to do it on a cooktop. All you need is some blue jean fabric and an Altoids tin, or any kind of tin, really. This is one that's already been used. What you do is you poke a hole in the top. And what we're gonna do, see the principles of fire are, it takes three things. It takes oxygen, it takes fuel, and it takes heat. What we're going to do with this char cloth is we're going to cut out one of those elements. We're going to cut out the oxygen. So all we have is fuel and heat. And you'll see the gases escaping in a little bit. It's kind of really crazy. What you want to do is take some blue jean fabric, cut it into squares, or actually rectangles is what I do. All right, so you're gonna put this in the tin can, close it up. So you're taking the oxygen away. The only way oxygen can get in is through that little hole, but that's where all the gases will be escaping. So what you're gonna do, let's get it over the fire. You're gonna put it over the fire, and eventually there'll be a flame coming out of that little hole. That's all the gases coming out of it and turning into char cloth. Once that flame stops, then you know it's ready. And don't burn the camera. There is a beard on the front of that camera. So. All right, we got smoke coming out now a little bit. See the smoke coming out of the hole? Now you can do this on a campfire too. Once you get a lot of coals, you just throw that thing on the coals and it's the same principle. Okay, now you've got flame coming out. It's also releasing out of the hinges. So that is zapping everything out of there, but it's keeping it from catching on fire because there's no oxygen inside the tin. Once that flame stops, then it's ready. And there was a big fish that jumped out there. Just right across is where I caught that one yesterday.
Yeah.
When I was in elementary school, they explained the fireman came, hit a triangle, and he said, in order to have a fire, you gotta have oxygen, you gotta have heat, and you gotta have fuel. If you take away any one of those, you have no fire. And what we're doing here, and look at it now, it's almost ready. And once all that's done, it'll be ready. Boop, it's ready. Now, we gotta let it cool down, we'll see what's inside. All right, here we go. This thing is set here for a while. It's cooled off. Let's see what we got in here. Look at that. We got some char cloth. It's perfect. Let's just, let's test it. What do you say? What do you say we test it? See if it'll make some embers. There it is. Perfect. Perfect char cloth right there. And it's getting very hot. It got way too hot.
At least it wasn't your beer.
Be careful, folks, be careful. Okay, I showed you how to do it on a cooktop. This is how you do it on a campfire. So we got the blue jean fabric in there. What we're going to do, set it in the hot coals. And hopefully Jason won't burn my camera because there's a lot of heat coming off of there. And we're going to let that sit till a flame starts coming out.
About to flame out.
Almost done.
Okay, so now the flame has disappeared. We need to get it off the fire. And we're gonna let it cool down. Now we took it out of the fire. And let's see what we got. We got some good old char cloth. Perfect. All right, now let's see if this stuff works. Just to make sure it's legit. There it is. And it's burning my other burn. Okay, so you think, you know, well, what about in the old covered wagon days? They didn't have Altoid cans. They didn't have char cloth pre-made. I mean, if they had blue jeans, they wouldn't cut up their blue jeans for this because they had no money. So you can also find porous wood. Like if you're ever out looking and you find some wood that's kind of buried, especially around a lake, and there's wood that's rotted, and it's rotted to the point to where when you push it, it's spongy looking. That stuff right there is the same. You could use that for this stuff. That's called, I forgot what it's called. It'll be on the screen. This is what it's called. But the way they did it is they would like dig a hole, they would put that wood underneath there and then have about 3 inches of dirt and then build their campfire on top of it. And then when they got through the next day, they move all the stuff away, they dig that back up, they put it in something, and they have basically their char cloth with them at all times. All they had to do is do the same thing with a piece of flint, steel, and they always had fire.